need to understand that we need great leaders in every aspect of society. Business, civil society, government, that's what we need to do. And that's what the summit is about. It's important to think about business, job creation, economic growth. What we have to achieve is immense. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a difficult thing to do. And importantly, it's not going to happen where we think it's going to happen. If we think about job creation, large companies are not going to create new jobs. We think it's kind of because they don't want to. They simply can't. A large organization at best can grow its revenue line at the GDP if it's doing well, at the GDP growth rate. The market expects its profit to grow higher than that. Therefore, the only way it can achieve that is to cut its expenses. When you cut expenses, you cut heads. So large organizations tend to be job destroyers. At the same time, we can't simply overnight create big industrial industries. One extreme I wanted to kind of illustrate. Could South Africa have Airbus or Boeing in it? Could we build the A380 here overnight? Of course we couldn't. What it took to build the A380 is a presence on every continent, a supply chain that spreads through 30 countries, 120,000 employees. It's not doable. It's simply not doable. We did some research into the Boeing Corporation. If we were to build kind of a Boeing company in South Africa, Boeing has 20,000 engineers. As a country, we only generate about 5,000 engineers a year. So if we were to take 10% of all of our engineers every year, of the brightest and smartest, and kind of diverted them into one organization, you find it would take us 40 years to staff up the company. That's a difficult thing to do. So it's very difficult in kind of a Gaussian way to shift society and change things by moving the average. It's almost impossible to do. I can talk of our story, the discovery story. Of course, we're proud of what we've achieved, but the truth of it is we should have and must have many more discoveries. Companies started up and built to scale quickly. That's what we need to do as a country. It can be done and it must be done. It need not just be in the financial services sector or healthcare. It needs to be across the entire industry. If you look at our organization, we've calculated, we've generated about 40,000 direct and indirect jobs over the 20 years we've been around. We are fairly labor unintensive. I would argue that if you had discovery stories across many parts of our environment, you get far greater job growth per organization. We calculate that 30 discoveries in different parts of the economy would create 3 million jobs. That's all it takes. Now, that's absent of all the government plans around infrastructural spend and all of the plans inside the NDP. But the point I'm trying to make is the power of the tail is remarkable, and the power of leadership is remarkable. And that's what the summit is about, stimulating leadership, to a large extent, fanning that tail to make sure we achieve greatness. There's remarkable potential in our country, and we should never, ever forget that.